Hey, it's me. So today is my first flavor of my 25 flavor of the same story challenge. I don't know how to name it. I just name it this. May sound stupid, but whatever. Today is the first day. I was procrastinating the whole day. I was thinking what story to tell, how do I tell it? I don't even have a script. How should I prepare? And I scroll through all of my photos ever since I ever have a digital camera. And I was just trying to find a story to tell. And now it's already 8 p.m. And I thought if I don't do this now, I will never be able to finish it today. So, whatever, I hit the record and I thought of a story that came to mind. I was like, whatever it is, I'm just go with it and gonna stick to it for the next 25 days. It may suck, it may be boring, but whatever, okay? And I don't even know now how I am going to tell it and where I'm going with this story, but this is my first flavor of this story. So it was 2013, more than 10 years ago, April. Me and my buddy, my best friend, Neil, we went to do a bicycle trip in Vietnam. So the plan was this: Neil had 1 week holiday, and I had two. Like, he was a hardworking man, and I just took additional time off. And our plan was this: if you know about Vietnam, or if you don't know, I'll explain. Hanoi is the city in the north, in the far north, and Ho Chi Minh is the city in the far south. And Vietnam is a long country, is a pretty long country. So our time together, it doesn't allow us to cover the whole Vietnam riding a bicycle. Our plan was we arrive in Hanoi, the northern city, and we use public transportation to go to the middle of Vietnam. And from there, we get on our bikes and we ride the bikes all the way to Ho Chi Minh City. And Neil will fly home, and I will continue the journey into Cambodia for the rest of my holiday. So that was the plan. We arrived in Hanoi. It was a beautiful city. We love it. We love the food. We love, well, the weather was pretty hot, but we love the city. And so we got there and we went to get our train tickets. Our plan was to take a train, bring our bicycles onto the train, and then take the train to a city in the middle called Nha Trang. I think our original plan wasn't to go to Nha Trang. We were going to some other cities a little bit in the north and start from there and go to Nha Trang and, all the way down to Ho Chi Minh. And we went to the train station. That was when I realized, what the hell? Why are there so many people? There was just so many people in the train station. And you can imagine, with that many people, the train ticket was sold out. And I realized something: when we were doing the planning, we didn't remember to check whether there was any public holiday in Vietnam back then, in that week that we're going to be in Vietnam. And we looked online. At the train station, we looked online and found out that it was their National Day week. And it was a week-long holiday there. Everyone was traveling. So, ticket was sold out, obviously. Of course. Now, we did our homework. So, we were like, okay, if the train was sold out, we had another option. We looked up online. There was something pretty popular among the foreigner tourists. It was called Open Tour Bus or something like that. Open Bus. It was a bus service. We can get on the bus and then take it to a city and just get off, and you can actually get on the bus again and go to a further destination later. And we thought, okay, we can maybe get one of those bus. And you can sleep on the bus too. They have a sleeping seat. So it was great. And we went to the open bus agency, and you can imagine the ticket was also sold out. And now we're stuck. We're basically fucked. The first day of our trip, we found out that we had no public transportation availability for to transport us from Hanoi to Nha Trang or to the middle of Vietnam. So now, yeah, maybe we can ride a bicycle for 7 days and then see where we can end up. But the problem is Neo has already booked his flight back home from Ho Chi Minh City, so eventually we will have to get to Ho Chi Minh City. So we asked around. We had no choices. We just have to figure out what to do. We asked around. We asked the hotel. We asked people we met in restaurants. We asked the open bus agency. So there were few of them actually mentioned that maybe you can try go to the local bus station terminal, local bus terminal, and see if they have any empty seats. Maybe they have. We're like, oh, you have local bus? What does it mean? So we asked where the bus terminal is, and we went there. The next day morning, first thing, we actually went there. To we rode our bikes to the bus terminal, and we were ready to hop on the bus if there was availability. So we did that. We went to the terminal and we asked, well, basically you can imagine if it's a local bus terminal, there was nothing prepared for foreigner. No one speak English, and everything was just local. You can see everyone was just local people, and the bus was prepared for local people to commute between cities, and it was so difficult for us to figure out what's what. Luckily, we have Google Translate. I had an iPad and I loaded a SIM card, and we used Google Translate on that to communicate with local people, and that was our main way of communicating with local people when we were there. So we asked, "Oh, is there a train or no a bus to go to Nha Trang?" And luckily, they say yes. So the guy at the ticket counter said yes, and he pointed us to a bus, and they say, ah. And we went to the bus. Obviously, the bus driver and conductor also didn't speak English, but we figure out they go to Nha Trang. They will stop by Nha Trang, and they charge us additional fee for loading our bikes onto the top of the bus. And we asked them, when can we arrive? Remember, it was morning in that day, and they say tomorrow evening. So we're like, basically, we're spending 2 whole days on that bus. And I was like, fuck, we're gonna be on this bus for 2 fucking days. This is such a bumpy start of our journey. But little did I know that it was going to be such a fun and beautiful bus trip that I ever did in my life. So I'll tell you about the trip. The bus, it was outdated. It was outdated but lovely. It was a yellow bus. It has a yellow color. So I don't know why countries in the tropical countries, my impression is that the bus are always more colorful. So it was a yellow bus, but everything, how should I put it? Everything was disappointing, I'll tell you. There was no air conditioning, so we had to keep the windows open all the time, and they're all just sitting seats. So you don't sitting seats. There was no sleeping option. So for 2 whole days, you just gotta sit there overnight. They also drive overnight. So overnight, if you need to sleep, of course, everyone need to sleep. You just have to sleep sitting. And of course, if the bus becomes empty, maybe you have the chance to maybe lie down a little bit. But yeah, that was it. And it was, yeah, and there was a crew of 4 people in 2 pairs. Each pair includes a driver and a conductor. So the driver of course drives, and they take shifts, right, to each pair, because it's a overnight bus. It runs for 2 whole days. So the bus driver needs to take shift and the conductor needs to take shift. The driver drives and the conductor just recruit customers. The bus door keeps is left open the whole way, and they don't, even when they're driving, they don't close the door. So the conductor would usually just stand next to the door when they pass by some major towns where there's a possibility there's a customer wants to get on the bus, a passenger who wants to get on the bus. So the conductor will stand at the door of the bus and recruit people. They would just shout out where they're going, what cities or towns they stop by, and they would just recruit people. And people hop on, people hop off. And because it's a long distance bus from Hanoi, I think all the way to a city called Dalat. Yeah, maybe. And you can imagine for 2 days they can go so far. And most of the passengers, they don't take the whole trip of the bus. They will hop on halfway, they hop off somewhere. So it's really local. So people take it locally. And we were, yeah, we were, because maybe because of we were the foreigners, so we got the front row seats in the bus. The bus have a I don't know. Where am I going with this story? Where am I going with this story? I don't know where I'm going with this story. What are the details? Oh yeah, there was